Have you ever felt that your purpose in life goes beyond what you can see at first glance? That there is something deep within you calling you to heal, not just yourself but others as well? In this video, we will explore the 9 signs that you were born to heal, based on the powerful principles of Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century. Jung taught us that within each of us resides a deep connection with the collective unconscious and a healing potential that can transform us and the world around us. Through his teachings, you will learn to recognize the signs that indicate you have a healing vocation, whether at an emotional, mental, or even spiritual level. If you've ever felt the call to heal, this video will help you discover the keys to understanding and embracing that gift. Stay until the end to explore how these signs can help you live with purpose and authenticity. Extreme empathy. Empathy in this sense is not merely putting yourself in another person's place. It's feeling their distress, happiness, or fear as if it were your own. For someone with the gift of healing, this deep empathy can be an early revelation of their life purpose. From a young age, healers experience the emotional intensity of those around them, often without understanding why. They perceive others' inner states with astonishing clarity. This connection goes far beyond rational understanding. It involves a visceral experience that transcends mental barriers. Carl Jung, in his study of archetypes, described the healer's empathy as a function of the collective unconscious, the shared psychic network of humanity, where our experiences and emotions intertwine. For those with this connection, sensing the pain or joy of others isn't a skill, but a natural inclination. Such sensitivity is a doorway that allows healers to see into the darkest corners of the soul. In practice, those with this capacity often feel compelled to relieve the suffering they perceive, motivated by the intensity of their own emotional experience. However, life for someone with such deep empathy can be filled with challenges. The empathic healer often feels drained, especially in crowded places or situations with high emotional intensity. This fatigue is not just physical, it's a kind of exhaustion that affects the mind and spirit, as the empath absorbs intense emotions from their surroundings, as if they were their own. Over time, many empaths learn they need to create emotional boundaries and self-care practices to avoid overload. Visualization is one of the tools the healer can use to create a protective shield around themselves, allowing them to absorb only what is necessary to fulfill their purpose without losing energy. These boundaries don't mean blocking empathy, but managing it. In this way, the empath can maintain their healing ability without risking their own well-being. Another powerful strategy for empathic healers is grounding, which involves meditation and visualization techniques to release accumulated emotional energy. In a grounding session, the person can imagine releasing all the emotional burdens they've taken on throughout the day, allowing their body, mind, and spirit to return to a state of balance. For those with the gift of healing, this practice of release is essential. Otherwise, they may feel overwhelmed, which affects their quality of life and limits their ability to help others. Insightful perception. The healer's empathic experience also allows them to see clearly what others may not perceive within themselves. This inner vision is an essential skill for a healer, enabling them to reach the root of the issues of those they help. In a therapeutic session, for example, the healer may sense fears or traumas that the patient has not yet verbalized. This doesn't mean that the healer knows all the details of the patient's life, but rather that they can feel where the emotional blocks are, which emotions are repressed, and which wounds need attention first. If you are an extremely empathetic person, you may notice that people seek to open up to you, often without knowing why. This happens because they sense in you an understanding and acceptance that is rare to find. Deep empathy acts as a silent invitation for those who need emotional relief. Through your active listening and patience, you offer a safe space where others feel they can express their emotions without fear of judgment. The healing power of nature. Nature is a constant guide for those who feel called to heal. This connection is not just an affinity for being outdoors or an interest in the landscape. For a healer, nature reflects the inner cycles of life, death, and transformation. Since ancient times, many cultures have seen nature as a model of wisdom and balance. Carl Jung argued that nature symbolizes aspects of our collective unconscious in its forms, colors, and rhythms. Nature reminds us that life has an intrinsic order and that all things, even suffering, are part of a cycle that leads to growth and renewal. If you feel drawn to nature, you may find comfort in walking through a forest, watching the movement of the sea, or feeling the stability of a mountain. This type of connection reflects a natural affinity with the processes of change and regeneration inherent to healers. Nature's cycles teach that each phase in life is essential, and that, just like nature renews itself, humans too can find ways to heal and evolve. Jung saw in nature's cycles an analogy to the internal transformation processes of the psyche. Just as winter's death gives way to spring's life, a phase of pain within us can mark the beginning of deep growth and change. A healer also finds in nature a mirror of their role. The seasons change, but do so with purpose. Nature brings life, but also lets go of what has fulfilled its purpose. A healer can learn from this cycle by recognizing that part of their work is to help others release their emotional burdens and emerge renewed. Nature teaches us that change is inevitable, and that growth often involves letting go of what no longer serves. This is key in a healer's life, helping others understand that they can evolve by releasing old traumas, habits, or emotional patterns. For someone on the healing path, this affinity with nature can also manifest in grounding practices. This technique involves placing your bare feet on the ground and visualizing the earth's energy entering your body, bringing calm and stability. By doing so, the healer experiences an energetic renewal that helps alleviate accumulated stress and revitalize. This practice is especially beneficial for those who work in constant contact with the emotional pain of others, as it allows them to release the dense energy that may become trapped in their system. Additionally, the healer may feel a deep connection with specific elements of nature that represent qualities of their own energy. If you recognize yourself in these signs, you may be a natural healer. Learning to manage your empathy, ground yourself, and protect your energy are essential steps on the healer's journey. Although the path can be challenging, deep empathy, when mastered, becomes a powerful vehicle for transformation and healing, both for the healer and those who seek their guidance. For example, water represents flow and adaptability, fire symbolizes transformation, air signifies freedom and vision, and earth embodies stability and nourishment. By connecting with these elements, a healer can learn to integrate their qualities into their own life. They may look to water to help them flow with emotions rather than resist them, or to fire to transform areas of life that need renewal. In this way, nature becomes not only a refuge but also a model to follow in one's own life. For a healer, nature also provides a connection to the entirety of the universe. Observing the stars or the rhythm of the waves, the healer feels that they are not alone in their mission but part of something greater that guides and supports them. This sense of belonging to something larger reinforces their purpose and brings peace to their path, especially in moments when their work may feel exhausting or challenging. Jung believed that a sense of belonging is a fundamental human need, and nature offers that experience in a pure, immediate form. In the realm of healing, this love for nature translates into a more intuitive and compassionate approach toward working with others. Empathy and respect for each person's process are qualities that a healer draws from observing nature. Just as a tree grows in its own time and each flower blooms at its own pace, a healer learns that each individual has a unique process of growth and transformation. With this understanding, the healer becomes patient and compassionate, able to accompany others without imposing a specific pace or direction, instead respecting the time each person needs. In summary, a deep connection with nature indicates that you are a healer because it offers life lessons on respecting processes and renewal. Nature reminds you that pain and transformation are inevitable, but so is renewal. By following these cycles, you can guide others toward a path of healing and balance, helping them release their burdens and blossom into a more balanced, authentic version of themselves. A natural magnet for those seeking support. One of the clearest signs of a healer is their ability to attract people in need of emotional support. You may find yourself in situations where even strangers feel the need to share their problems, seek comfort in your presence, or ask for advice on deep personal issues. This openness others have toward you is not coincidental. It responds to the energy you project, an energy that invites trust, sincerity, and emotional release. Carl Jung noted that healers often possess a magnetic center that radiates stability, calm, and compassion. This is one manifestation of the healer archetype, an unconscious psychological trait that does not need to be learned because it emerges from the essence of one's being. As a healer begins to understand this gift, they also discover that it's not just about being a good listener. It's about providing a safe, non-judgmental space where people can explore their deepest emotions. In your presence, those who suffer feel that they can open up, that they won't be judged, and that you can understand much of what they're experiencing. However, this trait can also be draining if not managed with care. People seeking help may become dependent on your attention and advice, which poses a challenge for the healer, who must learn to set healthy boundaries without losing their compassionate and approachable nature. For those unfamiliar with psychology, this situation may seem strange. Why would someone feel a special connection with a person they barely know? From Jung's perspective, this makes sense in terms of archetypes. People who need healing often subconsciously perceive the healer archetype within you. Your energy emits a kind of silent invitation that makes them feel safe and that they can receive the emotional relief they seek. The simple presence of a healer can have therapeutic effects that even the healer may not be aware of, and often it is enough just to be there, to listen, and to understand. Embracing the role while setting boundaries. As you explore your purpose as a healer, this constant attraction of people seeking comfort can lead you to reflect on your role in life. You may feel responsible for caring for others or believe that your mission is to offer unconditional support. However, it's important for the healer to understand that their role is not to heal in the literal sense, but to facilitate the process of self-understanding and self-discovery in those who seek their help. By offering a space for people to express themselves, the healer helps them connect with their own answers and inner resources, reminding them that the strength to heal lies within themselves. This gift also has its challenges, as you may feel overwhelmed, especially if those who come to you have deep or complex problems. The healer tends to absorb the emotional energy of others, which can be a heavy burden if not managed properly. Therefore, one of the first lessons for a healer is learning to set energetic and emotional boundaries. These boundaries don't mean rejecting those who seek help, but rather taking care of your own well-being so that you can remain effective without sacrificing your mental or physical health. Self-care techniques are essential for those who possess this gift. From Jung's perspective, a healer should know and explore their own unconscious to avoid projecting unresolved issues onto the people they help. By doing so, the healer can be a clear and effective channel of healing without their own shadows interfering in the process. Practicing self-compassion, reserving time for activities that revitalize you, and surrounding yourself with people who also nurture you emotionally are ways to ensure that this gift remains healthy and balanced. Healing through shared growth. In your role as a healer, each interaction with someone in need of support is an opportunity to reinforce your purpose, but also to learn more about your own emotions and challenges. Helping others discover themselves can be a constant source of learning and personal evolution. Each story you hear, each experience you share, and each moment of empathy become resources that allow you to understand the human condition more deeply. As you explore this role, you realize that healing is a mutual process. You not only help others, but also heal parts of yourself that you may not have recognized before. In conclusion, attracting people who seek emotional support is a powerful sign of your mission as a healer. As you accept and understand this role, you become a beacon of stability and peace for those around you. However, it is crucial to cultivate balance and self-care so that your gift can flourish without exhausting you. The key is to offer empathetic and sincere support, always remembering that true healing arises from each person's heart. As a healer, your role is to accompany, not to carry others' pain. Healing dreams as a pathway to purpose. Dreams are gateways to the unconscious, and according to Carl Jung, one of the richest ways to explore our purpose and connection to the healer archetype. If you have recurring dreams featuring symbols of healing, you may be receiving deep messages from your own psyche. Symbols of healing in dreams can include wounds that are healing, people regaining health, injured beings asking for help, or even plants and waters that have healing powers. These symbols are not usually literal. They are representations from the unconscious trying to communicate something essential about your mission in life and your ability to connect with others suffering in an intuitive, transformative way. For Jung, dreams are not merely random nighttime scenes. They are messages from parts of us that operate beyond conscious logic. These symbols arise from the collective unconscious, and when we experience them in our dreams, they remind us of profound aspects of our psychic life. The appearance of these healing symbols in dreams might indicate that your life purpose involves alleviating pain, guiding others toward emotional or spiritual balance, and helping them find meaning in their suffering. Healers often have a special connection with their dreams, as the unconscious seeks through them to provide hints about their path and purpose. In addition to healing symbols, these dreams may show repeating patterns. You might frequently dream of situations where you can help others, or where you find solutions to real-life problems that may seem complicated. These patterns reveal the consistency of the message from your unconscious. Healing is a fundamental part of your identity. By paying attention to these dreams, you can begin to recognize and work with these symbols as a resource for your own life. Jung believed that analyzing dreams closely allows one to bring valuable insights to consciousness that would otherwise remain buried. For a healer, learning to interpret these dreams is an essential tool. Taking the time to analyze their symbolism and the emotional context you feel in them is a way to strengthen your connection with the unconscious. While there are dream interpretation techniques and practices, it's crucial to approach your dreams with an open mind and a willingness to understand their personal meanings. A healer benefits from seeing each dream as a kind of lesson, a nighttime teacher that illuminates aspects of their life or mission. In this sense, dreams are a means for the healer to also engage in self-discovery. They present situations that depict pain, difficulty, or even anguish, because the unconscious seeks not only to console, but also to confront and transform. Jung asserted that our dreams often reflect parts of ourselves that need integration. Thus, a healer may dream of people in need of help in situations that mirror their own unresolved wounds. Facing these dreams can be emotionally challenging, but also provides an opportunity for growth and self-awareness, enabling them to heal so that they, in turn, can heal others with greater clarity and empathy. Healing symbols in dreams can also open the door to practices that connect you with your life's purpose. For example, you might feel drawn to explore holistic therapies like meditation, aromatherapy, energy healing, or even traditional disciplines such as yoga. These interests are not coincidental. In many cases, they are calls from these dreams that invite you to explore tools and knowledge that will complement your innate healing ability. By honoring and developing these interests, you begin to respond to the message of your dreams and cultivate skills that you can later use to help others. These dreams can also guide you in your own healing process. An effective healer is someone who continually works on their own self-understanding and self-improvement. In the case of dreams, they may reveal personal wounds that need healing before you can help others. Perhaps you dream of someone wounded, but in reality, that person represents a part of you that still requires attention and care. Thus, each symbol and each healing situation that appears in your dreams can also be an invitation to heal yourself. By doing so, you strengthen the empathy and compassion toward those who will eventually be in your care. In conclusion, dreams with healing symbols not only reveal a purpose, but also invite you to work with your own unconscious and explore the deeper meaning of these messages. In doing so, you not only discover aspects of your identity and mission, but also acquire valuable inner resources that will enable you to be a healer with a more complete and balanced perspective. Exploring spirituality and esoteric practices for personal growth. For those called to healing, spirituality and esoteric practices represent a natural path to self-discovery and personal development. Fascination with disciplines such as meditation, tarot, astrology, alchemy, or energy studies is not merely a trend or hobby. It is a search for a deep connection with the hidden aspects of the human soul and the universe. Carl Jung explored how these practices provide symbols, archetypes, and knowledge that touch the deepest dimensions of the psyche, offering us maps of transformation and guidance on our path toward healing. This inclination to explore the spiritual and esoteric stems from a need to understand existence and human nature. Healers feel that material life is only one part of reality, and that there are other, equally important dimensions that affect our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Far from being superficial, these esoteric practices invite one to look beyond logic to find profound meaning in everyday experiences, connecting the individual with something greater, whether that's a source of energy, the collective unconscious, or a spiritual force. In this sense, spirituality becomes a path of self-knowledge and, at the same time, a tool for understanding and alleviating the suffering of others. Meditation, for example, allows healers to connect with their inner self and the flow of energy that guides their life. Through meditation, they can learn to calm their mind, regulate their emotions, and develop greater clarity, essential qualities for their healing work. Healers who practice meditation find in it a form of introspection that helps them see their own thoughts and emotions clearly, recognizing their own wounds to avoid projecting them onto those seeking their help. At the same time, meditation enables the healer to access their intuition and empathy in a deeper and more precise way, enhancing their ability to understand and assist others in their own healing processes. Another common path of spiritual exploration for healers is the study of symbols and archetypes in disciplines such as astrology or tarot. Jung devoted much of his work to studying how archetypal symbols represent fundamental patterns of the human psyche. For a healer, understanding these symbols is understanding the language of the collective unconscious, this vast network of experiences and knowledge that we all share. The tarot, for example, uses archetypes like the Fool, the Hermit, and the Star, each representing aspects of life and human development. By familiarizing themselves with these symbols, the healer gains a clearer view of people's internal processes, enabling them to provide more intuitive and profound guidance. Alchemy is another practice that may fascinate the healer, not as a literal chemical process, but as a metaphor for psychological and spiritual transformation. Jung studied alchemical texts and concluded that the processes of alchemy represent stages of personal growth and integration of the self. For a healer, alchemy offers a symbolic understanding of the healing process, first to break down or confront internal shadows and difficulties, nigredo or the black work, then to shape and purify them, albedo or the white work, and finally to integrate these aspects into a more complete and harmonious self, rubedo or the red work. Healers find in these processes a reflection of their own inner journey and at the same time a path they can use to guide others toward healing and balance. This fascination with the esoteric and spiritual also leads the healer to develop a holistic approach, a vision in which the body, mind, and spirit are interconnected. Thus, a healer might explore alternative therapies that integrate energetic techniques such as Reiki, pranic healing, or the use of crystals, seeking for each practice to work in an integrated way with the person. Holistic therapy recognizes that well-being is an alignment of all parts of the human being. By working on a person's emotional, energetic, and spiritual blockages, the healer helps restore a balance that transcends the physical. For the healer, learning and development in these areas never stop. Every discipline, every practice, and every symbol learned is an additional tool they can use to better understand the inner world of those seeking their help. Moreover, this ongoing interest in spiritual growth also allows the healer to remain open to their own personal development, recognizing that true healing begins with oneself. Jung stated that those who heal others must first work on their own internal processes. Thus, the healer's fascination with the esoteric and spiritual is not just an external journey of knowledge, but an internal journey toward their own balance and clarity. In conclusion, the interest in spiritual and esoteric practices is a sign that the healer seeks to understand and connect with deeper aspects of reality. This interest not only expands their knowledge and skills, but also strengthens their capacity for self-understanding and healing. On this path, the healer finds not only tools, but also the purpose and conviction to guide others toward their own healing and self-knowledge. One of the most prominent traits of a healer is their deep drive to help others, a need that goes beyond a simple desire to do good. For healers, this drive is often so strong that they sacrifice their own well-being or time to alleviate the pain of others. For Carl Jung, this altruistic inclination is not just a character trait, but a manifestation of the archetype of the healer, a figure that lives in the collective unconscious and represents the human capacity to transform and assist others in their healing processes. This drive often begins to manifest at a young age. Healers are often children or adolescents who feel responsible for the emotional well-being of those around them, whether within their family, among friends, or even with strangers. As they grow, this inclination becomes a life pattern, a constant willingness to help, strengthened by experience. This vocation can manifest in various ways. Some healers become health professionals, therapists or psychologists, while others opt for less conventional paths, such as energy healing or providing emotional support in community settings. However, this need to help can become a trap if the healer does not learn to set boundaries. It is common for healers to feel exhausted or overwhelmed, especially when they are constantly exposed to the pain of others without adequately protecting themselves. This phenomenon is known as compassion fatigue, a state of emotional exhaustion that affects those who dedicate themselves to caring for others. Healers often feel they must always help, even when their own reserves are low. This inclination to put others' needs first can lead the healer to neglect their own well-being, creating a sense of emptiness and extreme fatigue that ultimately affects their health and ability to help. For a healer, learning to balance this need to help with self-care is essential. This is where Jung's wisdom provides valuable guidance for helping others effectively. One must first work on their own wounds and needs. Jung claimed that authentic healers are those who know and face their own traumas and limitations, which allows them to help others from a place of true empathy and understanding without projecting their unresolved wounds onto those seeking help. This process of self-knowledge is key because it prevents the healer from becoming emotionally drained and allows them to establish healthy boundaries with those they assist. Setting boundaries can be difficult for the healer, especially because their need to help is driven by strong empathy and compassion. However, these boundaries are crucial for maintaining the effectiveness of their healing ability. By learning to say no or to reserve moments for rest and disconnection, the healer protects their energy and can continue to provide support without losing themselves in the process. Practices such as meditation, visualization, and mindfulness help the healer strengthen their inner balance, allowing them to be present for others without compromising their own well-being. Additionally, developing a support network is essential for healers. Often, when they help others, they feel they should not ask for help themselves, as they are used to being the ones offering comfort and guidance. However, the healer also needs spaces and people with whom they can share their own emotions and receive support. Jung emphasized the importance of human connection as a central element in the healing process. By surrounding themselves with understanding people who are willing to listen, the healer finds a source of strength and balance that allows them to continue their work without falling into exhaustion. Another important tool for the healer is continuous reflection. Healers can benefit from dedicating time to assess their own well-being and analyze how they feel emotionally and physically. This practice of self-observation allows the healer to identify when they are starting to feel overloaded and act before reaching the point of exhaustion. By being aware of their own limits, the healer can adjust their life and relationships to maintain balance without compromising their need to help others. This drive to help can also transform over time. Many healers discover that their vocation is not only to alleviate pain, but also to guide people toward their own process of self-knowledge, rather than trying to solve others' problems. The healer learns to be a companion who supports the personal growth of those around them. This approach not only protects the healer from burnout, but also empowers others by helping them discover their own resources and abilities to face their challenges. In this way, the healer can continue their mission without becoming exhausted, as their work transforms into an act of guidance rather than a personal burden. In conclusion, the deep need to help is an undeniable sign of a potential healer. However, it is also an invitation to explore the balance between giving and receiving. When the healer understands the importance of their own well-being and works on their self-knowledge, their capacity to help multiplies, and their impulse becomes more powerful and enduring. This balance between compassion for others and self-care is key to ensuring that the healer can continue their mission in a sustainable and transformative way. A characteristic trait of the healer is their ability to see beyond pain and perceive a purpose in it, both in their own difficult experiences and in those of others. For Carl Jung, suffering is not an obstacle but an opportunity for self-discovery and growth. Jung stated that in our shadow, those aspects of ourselves that remain hidden or repressed are parts of us that we still do not understand. Confronting pain allows us to access these aspects and, in doing so, gain a deeper understanding of who we are and what we are called to do. Healers are those who find hidden lessons in suffering, recognizing that each painful experience has the potential to transform us into stronger and more conscious beings. Therefore, the healer does not fear pain, but observes it with an introspective gaze. When going through a difficult situation, instead of avoiding it, you tend to analyze it and reflect on what it is showing you about yourself. This process is neither easy nor quick. Confronting suffering requires courage and the willingness to look deeply within oneself. However, by doing so, you develop resilience that not only strengthens you, but also enables you to better understand the pain of others. For the healer, personal suffering becomes a tool, a kind of training, enabling them to offer genuine empathy and support to those who are also going through difficult times. Moreover, by recognizing and accepting your own suffering, you learn to validate the suffering of others. This is a fundamental quality in a healer, not minimizing the pain of others or offering superficial comfort. Instead, you can provide genuine and honest support, allowing people to face their pain without feeling alone. This is particularly important because many times those who suffer feel misunderstood or judged. By being willing to see pain as a teacher, the healer becomes a guide, someone who can help others discover the lessons in their painful experiences and use them for their own growth. Through your ability to find meaning in suffering, you also develop a special skill to transform pain into wisdom. Jung believed that the pain and trauma we face are like seeds. At first, they seem like dark and undesirable elements, but through working with them and understanding them, they can bloom into wisdom and knowledge. This ability to transform pain into something useful and meaningful is one of the reasons healers are often sought out by people in crisis. Those going through difficult situations see in the healer someone who genuinely understands, not only listens but offers valuable perspectives because they have walked the same path. On the other hand, this ability to find meaning in suffering also helps you avoid emotional burnout. When healers help others, they are often exposed to a large amount of emotional pain. Without the ability to transform suffering into something positive, they could easily feel overwhelmed or exhausted. However, by understanding the value of each experience, even the most difficult ones, you can maintain a state of balance and well-being. This ability to transform pain also allows you to move forward without feeling as though you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. In the role of the healer, the pain and suffering you have lived through give you a unique advantage. They allow you to act with compassion and empathy from a place of genuine understanding. You don't just sympathize with the pain of others, you understand it from within. This depth of empathy is a powerful gift that not only heals those who seek your help, but also strengthens your relationships and connections with others. Authentic understanding and the ability to guide others through their own shadows are at the core of a healer's work, and develop precisely because the healer has learned to confront their own shadows without fleeing from them. Finally, this ability to find meaning in pain contributes to your own inner peace and sense of purpose. A healer who has understood the value of their painful experiences is not only someone who helps others, but also someone who has reached a deep peace with themselves. Healing begins at home, and healers who have integrated their own difficult experiences into their lives find a sense of stability that allows them to continue helping without emotional exhaustion. In conclusion, the ability to find meaning in one's own suffering and in the suffering of others is one of the deepest and most essential aspects of a healer. This approach not only allows you to help others authentically, but also makes you a source of wisdom and resilience. The healer who understands the value of suffering is at peace with their own path, and that peace, that deep understanding, is what they can ultimately offer others as a sure guide toward their own healing and growth. The feeling of a spiritual calling is one of the deepest and most powerful signs that you are a healer. It is not just a concern or a search for meaning, but a persistent sense that your life has a greater purpose that you have not fully discovered yet. This impulse goes beyond a career or personal goals and leads you toward a connection with something transcendental. Carl Jung claimed that in the human psyche, there are archetypes that guide us in our spiritual evolution, and the healer is one of them. This archetype awakens in us the desire to find answers beyond the material world and to discover how we can help heal the suffering of others and find our own fulfillment in that process. Feeling this spiritual calling may begin subtly, as an intuition that appears in moments of calm, or more intensely, as an urgent need for change. It is possible that at various times in your life you have wondered if you are truly on the right path, or if there is something deeper you could be doing. This unease is an invitation from your unconscious to explore your own potential as a healer. Those who feel this call often begin a journey of self-knowledge and transformation, whether through spiritual practices, deep reading, therapy, or even introspective journeys that allow them to connect with their true essence. The healer feels that their life is incomplete unless it is aligned with their purpose. This means that, although you may have a life that appears fulfilling to others, inside you know there is something more you need to achieve, a mission to fulfill. This feeling can lead you to explore different spiritual disciplines, religions, philosophies, and systems of thought that offer perspectives on the purpose of life and the nature of the soul. This search is an essential part of the healer's journey. Each practice, each discovery, and each spiritual experience brings you closer to your purpose as they expand your understanding of yourself and the world around you. As you deepen your search, you may experience an increasing sense of clarity about your life mission. Jung claimed that the collective unconscious contains all of humanity's experiences and knowledge, and by connecting with it, healers can receive intuitions and insights that do not come from rational sources, but from a place of deep wisdom. This connection to the collective unconscious not only helps you understand yourself better, but also allows you to find the purpose of your existence in terms of service and healing for others. For the healer, the sense of purpose is not defined solely by what they do, but by the intention behind each action and the genuine desire to contribute to the well-being of others. The spiritual call of a healer can also lead to experiencing crises of purpose or periods when nothing seems to make sense. These crises, although painful, are fundamental stages in the healer's development as they push the healer to question and redefine their mission. During these moments, the healer may feel lost, but in reality, these experiences are guiding them toward a deeper and more authentic understanding of their purpose. These crises allow the healer to leave behind the superficial and connect with what is essential, the true essence of their mission. For those who feel this call, it is common to seek connection with practices that expand their sense of purpose and spiritual well-being, such as meditation, yoga, prayer, or the study of sacred texts. These practices not only bring mental and emotional peace, but also provide a way to deepen the connection with one's life mission. The healer who answers their call finds in these practices a constant source of energy and guidance that helps them stay focused on their purpose, even in moments of doubt. These spiritual tools offer an inner refuge and a source of strength, reminding the healer that their mission to help others is much more than a choice. It is a deep vocation that gives meaning and direction to their life. The healer's spiritual calling is ultimately not a solitary journey. By answering their call, the healer also connects with a community of people who share their purpose. This does not always mean a physical community, but a spiritual one, a network of individuals who, through their own quests, are also working to heal the world and elevate the collective consciousness. This connection with other healers strengthens the sense of purpose and motivates the healer to continue on their path, reminding them that they are not alone and that their work has an impact in a broader context of global healing. In conclusion, feeling a spiritual calling to find your purpose is an unmistakable sign that you are a healer in the process of awakening to your mission. This call not only invites you to seek answers, but to transform your life into an expression of healing and love toward others. The mission of a healer is ultimately to be a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds, guiding others toward a greater understanding of themselves and life. Answering this spiritual call is an act of courage and dedication, and when you do, your life takes on a sense of purpose and fulfillment that transcends any material achievement, connecting you to the flow of a greater mission. Synchronicity is one of the most fascinating concepts in Jungian theory and describes the meaningful coincidences that seem to have a deep connection, even though there is no direct cause to explain them. For Carl Jung, synchronicity represents a manifestation of unconscious processes expressed in the external world in a way that seems to defy rational logic. If you frequently experience synchronicity phenomena, this can be a powerful sign that you have a special connection with the healer archetype. and that you are aligned with a spiritual purpose that goes beyond simple causality and the physical realm. Healers in particular seem to have a special sensitivity to perceive these phenomena, which often appear at critical or transformative moments in their lives. Through synchronicity, the universe seems to send them signs and clues that guide them toward fulfilling their mission. Perhaps you've experienced moments when, just as you're thinking of someone, that person calls or unexpectedly appears in your life. Or maybe you've noticed certain numbers, symbols, or words repeating unusually throughout your days. These events, which might seem trivial to others, have a special meaning for you, a kind of hidden message that you intuitively feel you must decipher. Synchronicity is particularly common during periods of transition, such as job changes, significant relationships, relocations, or even deep spiritual growth processes. For Jung, these moments of change or transformation open a door in the unconscious, allowing internal contents and the collective unconscious to manifest in external reality. The healer, by being in tune with their mission and unconscious, is more susceptible to picking up these signals, interpreting them toward the right path. In this sense, synchronicity not only provides clues about the path to follow, but reinforces the sense that there is a purpose and meaning in every aspect of their life. Additionally, synchronicity also serves as a tool of self-affirmation. When healers experience these significant coincidences, they feel they are not alone in their quest for purpose, and that somehow the universe is confirming their mission. This experience can be comforting, especially during moments of doubt or uncertainty, as it reminds them that they are aligned with a higher force. Thus, synchronicity not only acts as an external guide, but also as an internal confirmation that the healer's path is genuine and that their effort to help others has a meaning beyond the material. Interpreting these synchronicities also requires an open mindset and a willingness to introspect. The healer learns to observe and analyze these phenomena without falling into superstition, understanding that their meaning lies in the context of their life and emotions. Each synchronicity is unique, and its interpretation depends on the life stage the healer is going through. For some, it might be confirmation of an important decision. For others, a reminder to pay attention to something they've been overlooking. By exploring these events, the healer can gain a broader and deeper perspective on their life, discovering patterns and messages that the unconscious is sending to help them evolve and heal. Synchronicity can serve as a powerful tool for healing. For those experiencing confusion or pain, a healer can teach them to recognize and pay attention to these meaningful coincidences, revealing that life is filled with signs and messages that can guide their journey. This kind of wisdom helps individuals tap into their intuition and foster a deeper connection with their inner world, giving them a more profound understanding of their own experiences. Healers, by living in alignment with synchronicity, demonstrate to others how to trust their own intuition and accept that the world is far more complex and mysterious than it appears. For healers, synchronicity holds deep value as it strengthens their connection to the collective unconscious, the vast psychic network that unites all humanity. These synchronistic events remind the healer that their life and mission are intertwined with something greater, a web of connections and meanings that encompasses the entirety of human existence. When the healer taps into this sense of unity, they realize that their work is not only personal, but part of a larger collective effort toward healing. This understanding provides them with a unique perspective on their purpose, enabling them to approach their work with a compassion and empathy that transcend the individual. In conclusion, synchronicity is a clear indication that the healer is aligned with a higher mission, one that connects them to their true essence, the spiritual world, and the collective unconscious. These meaningful coincidences are not mere accidents, but powerful messages that confirm their path and offer guidance during crucial moments. Through synchronicity, the healer not only finds purpose in their own life, but becomes a channel of wisdom for others, showing them that the universe is full of signs and symbols that can guide them toward their own peace and sense of purpose.